Okay.
Hello and welcome to the show. This is the show in which we do so much stuff. Holy
Wait,
schmagoli, my mom is big. Holy
wait.
schmagoli. Now
Have
I
we been
know.
live for a minute? That doesn't make any sense.
No, we've been live for 15 seconds.
Why does
Hello.
why
Oh
does this
my
why does
goodness.
the timer say that?
Whoa, look, we're over here now. Goodness gracious. Today we're talking about what will we change in the next
This is kind of awesome.
season. What will the format change? Will we add production value? We've been doing this for 2 years now. Our audience has increased by 0%. And I'd like to say, all right, we've done this. We've been
this was
trying.
our beta test. We've been beta
What?
testing for a while.
What do we change? What do we love about the show? What do we hate about the show? Is it perfect?
What
No.
even is the show?
But today's episode is sponsored by nothing. It's not an episode. Haha, I fooled you. Give me your money.
Oh, okay.
Look at that tip of my finger. God damn, do I look good. All right.
That was weird, Colin, but it was fun. It was strange.
It was fun.
Where do we start? Hey, do we start with I don't know, I'm thrown off by this. So should we just get to work, or should we talk about the fact that you were just here? I just saw you.
I was just there. We didn't do an episode. Why? And
we meant to.
We meant to and then didn't.
Which is the story of recently.
Yep. And then also, but this has been a planned planned hiatus as we switch from season to season. We had planned on this and didn't say, let's make a hiatus this morning.
Yep. It was a really long plan, a really long idea that happened just starting today.
And there's also no updates in terms of my life, like what's changed. Everything's the same in my life. I didn't get engaged. Yes, I did. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Your boy's engaged. Blacka. So,
yes. Engaged to Ellie. It's lovely. It's beautiful. It's wonderful. Now you've got all the stress of actually planning a wedding that's about to happen.
Yep. We just found out that the date that we were going to do, there's actually a huge event in Silverton. So we might have to do a different one because the total number of people that are coming to this wedding are going to fill all of the hotels in Silverton. All of them. Gotcha. So that might not be the week. We could do the week before. The problem is that we have a wedding we were going to go to 2 weeks before our date. And then that person also would probably want to go to our wedding, but I guess they would probably be on their honeymoon if it was the week after. So it might just be a situation where he doesn't come. Well, that'd be a bummer. So, oh well.
It's hard. You might not be able to make everybody happy.
We just have a lot of overlap with friends, and so we do not want to create a situation where, I mean, my family is going to be like 13 people if they all show up. And then Ellie's family is going to be like literally 80 people. And so,
oh my God.
And that's so it would be nice if my friends came, but, I mean, admittedly, Ellie and I have a fair amount of overlap with friends also, but just like, it'd be nice if there was some me in this whole thing. So
I think you're going to be all over it.
If they all go to Swoosh's, Swoosh, by the way, who's getting married. That one, yeah, then they've already taken time off because Swoosh already got his save the dates out because he proposed earlier. The punk. So.
Yeah, it's going to be tricky, and you really kind of have a semi-narrow window because of the weather. You can't really go too late before it becomes unmanageable.
Well,
I think
you can't go too late because of Owen.
And Owen too.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure Owen would figure it out, but it
would be harder.
The alternative date would have been like the first week of October.
Mm.
And then if we go much earlier than that, then it's not fall anymore, and we don't get pretty trees. but we do get greenery. But then we're like in between Ellie and I's birthdays. Do we want to do that? I guess.
Maybe.
I don't know. I mean, if it was mid-September, then it still would have been like 2 weeks after Ellie's birthday. So.
Yep.
Hey. No.
You know, we'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out. It's fine.
Or do we move to later? Do we go to March? Do we go to March of like not this coming year, but the year after?
I want to be married to Ellie tomorrow. I'm more like spring, but then we still have the Owen problem. So
I think he has a spring break somewhere. I don't know exactly where, but
well, let's plan the whole wedding only for Owen. Let's do it. Let's figure out when his break is and then just schedule it around that. We'll go to the wedding. I'm sure of it. I'm sure it's fine.
Right. We'll make it work. Okay.
All right. What do we want to change?
We're just going to go with what do we want to change?
What do we want to do?
Well, I don't know. Can we just discuss what this is? I think that would be my first thought is what are we making here? What are we doing?
In terms of the podcast or in terms of this episode?
No, the podcast overall. Like, what is it to you?
I don't know. I think that when I think about the podcast, I always think about going and getting breakfast at Warren's in Utah and getting just a ton of refills and getting a delicious omelet at a place that's usually like a fast food burger joint and just getting trapped in our own conversation because it was interesting, right? Mm-hmm. I always enjoyed just thinking down a line with you. I enjoyed when Owen is there. I enjoyed when Dad is there. And just like having long conversations where we talk about complicated topics. So that is what I think of when I think of the show.
Well, that's so nice. I don't really know how to translate that into like a real format. Like obviously we could literally do that, right? But that would be a big change if we just started eating omelets and drinking sodas while we did it.
That'd be fine.
Okay, I'm going to write omelets and refills.
Well, you didn't. Did you get an omelet when we went to Warren's?
No.
No, you got like 2 eggs.
Yeah, I get like a full breakfast with some tasty hash browns.
So we should go to Waffle House.
I don't really enjoy the Waffle House.
I know. Well, where's the diner that you enjoy?
I have not found one here yet.
That's a bummer.
Yeah, but I haven't looked very hard. I looked a couple places and then I was like, I'm done looking for now.
Yeah.
But I can make my own breakfast, so I can just sit here and make a breakfast.
That's true. You don't have a son that's forcing you to go out and enter the world. Dude, you want to hear something funny? Ellie asked me when we were trying to plan who we invite to the wedding.
Okay.
She was like, well, should I invite my parents' family friends? Like, are you inviting your parents' friends?
Yep.
Every single one we're inviting. You guys are dorks.
Because we have no friends? Because we don't do the work?
Because you don't try. You don't try to.
We don't try. We like each other. It's good enough.
So lame. So lame. Yeah. No, we put together my side, and it's just like, this is paltry, you know? This is like this is why don't your siblings crank out some children? Goodness gracious.
That door is pretty much closed.
Yeah, I know.
It will be thoroughly closed shortly, but it's pretty much closed. And your dad's got siblings. Obviously, they'll come. So that's a few more people, but.
Yep. Should we invite everyone but Maggie?
No, we should. If you're going to do that, invite Maggie too.
But she didn't invite me to her wedding. She's the only one I know hasn't invited me to her wedding, unless Carly got married. I didn't know about it.
No,
right.
Carly didn't get married.
It's like I have the same problem with another one of my friends where it's like, I mean, I certainly would have invited him, but he didn't invite me to his wedding. And now I'm like, Well, is it weird? Wedding politics.
I don't know. That I can't answer.
One
I literally showed up to my wedding. You know what I mean? Like I didn't know what was going on.
I've tried to stress that to Ellie's parents. Like, my parents are wedding illiterate. So we're gonna have to tell them how to do this.
I was lucky to be present for my own wedding. So the Navy was like, nah. And I was like, please, I'm getting married. And they were like, okay.
Yep.
So, yeah. Yeah. So, okay. So when I think about this show or what my vision is, it seems like it's slightly different from yours, but I feel like it can still work. I am finding that I enjoy the deep diving, right? Where I'm prepared. When you're sitting around eating at a place, you've not done your requisite research. You're just off the cuff, what comes into your head, what feels true, whether it's true or not. So I think that's different. I do like, I like taking the topics of today, like what's happening in America, particularly in American politics, particularly, and then finding some history related element to consider, like that's what I like the best when we do stuff, for me. But is that what we are? I have no idea. I don't know.
Well, I just always have an impulse to make it more abstract when we do that. I have, like, when we start talking about what is going on today of it, I'm searching for some sort of like root abstract truth about how people look at problems like this. Like,
I'm here for all that. I'm here for all that.
If we were to talk about Israel, Palestine, right? I think an interesting topic to get to would be how people select the like first year of their like, well, but this happened in 1947, but this happened in 1841, right? And how you can absorb historical context into the what's happening right now, but also appreciate, like, you're talking about a generation of people that don't exist anymore, so whenever we're talking about a modern day topic, I think that we've noticed this when we text about what the topic of an episode is like, you'll bring up, well, I want to talk about this event that's occurred, and I will want to be like, oh yeah, then we can talk about this system of thought or this, like,
But that's where the conversation really is, right? We talk about what the elements are of the thing, and then we, that's where the conversation is, and what are the implications. Yeah. So that I like that. No, that to me that's important too. I like to understand people and what makes them tick and what makes them think the things they think. As much as I don't like talking about or thinking about Israel and Palestine, watching other people talk and think about it and what they're doing right now is kind of fascinating. Like, whether you agree or disagree doesn't even really matter when you watch just the influence that's happening, right? How are regular people influencing our own policies now in a way that's never happened before because there's so much more access to information. So, I find all of that part really interesting. Let's see what's going to happen, but I do miss the deep dives a little bit. I feel like we should be talking about Project 2025 because I feel like, as over the last year or so, we've kind of been building to Project 2025, not even knowing what it was. And
I'm sorry, what is Project 2025?
I haven't done a deep dive on it, but it's basically this concept that the Heritage Foundation, which we've touched on the Heritage Foundation before, and I said they're up to something. I don't understand what it is. When they're going around and shopping all of these bills around, in small forms until they turn into something bigger. But the Heritage Foundation is working on this thing called Project 2025, and it's basically to take over the government once they reinstate Trump or whoever, basically turning this whole place into more of a theocracy and really clamping down on what we think America is and turning it into something else. So it's a real thing that's happening that is actually coming out. And I think we have, along the way, we have kind of found the breadcrumbs to it. So You know, I do I kind of miss doing those formats where, where we would have maybe discussed this already. I would have been like, let's talk about Project 2025. And you would have been like, what is that? And then, and I would be prepared. I'm not prepared right now, right? So
I've always been excited. So I think one thing that we should consider is if we take this, I'm going to draw an analogy between this podcast and one of my favorite podcasts, which I'm paying homage to on here. And also, if I take my virtual background away, it's also on my, this is also a reference to it. Good Mythical Morning.
Okay.
Simple, but it's upside down because I hung it up upside down. That before Good Mythical Morning started, Rhett and Link had a number of different projects together of varying levels of success. I mean, they were clearly already successful on YouTube. And then they had a podcast right at the beginning of the podcast era called Good Morning Shia Lincoln, right? And the idea was that the microphone was sort of MacGyvered into a Shia Lincoln head. And over the course of the episodes, you could see the head grow larger and larger. And they were trying to construct a through line of the whole thing. It was an interesting idea.
Okay.
And people liked it. And at some point, they felt like they wanted to insert more structure. They wanted to change things. And so they ended Good Morning Shia Lincoln, and they took it and they formed a new thing with a much more cohesive goal, which was Good Mythical Morning, which rested at the intersection of a sort of radio morning show and a podcast. So it was a lot more structured than a normal podcast. It's shorter than like a Joe Rogan podcast. It's meant to be consumed as sort of as a morning show, as like this type of thing that you listen to on your drive to work, but consumable on YouTube with a video format, and you can watch it whenever, but community focused, sort of like a morning show. I am wondering, because I've always loved this vision that you have of sort of painting the background to a completed picture, which is, look at this, conspiracy is the wrong word, but look at this, this thing that's happening under our noses, right? This evangelical Christian, this political government mechanism, which is turning and is exerting influence on our lives and on our politics, but isn't the first thing that you think of when you think about all these problems. But it has fingers in a bunch of different honeypots, right? Honeypots? It has fingers in a bunch of different pies. Pies?
That might be right.
And so we've been, there's this idea that we were putting puzzle pieces together of this overall picture that was the Heritage Foundation. There we were just laying out this long form, not even an argument, but like almost like a documentary in the style of a conversation between a mother and a son, right? A documentary on discovering, unraveling this influence maker. And I always loved that. And I think that we have been unstructured, obviously, in how we've done it. Yeah. But you've always had a direction that you're moving it, and I've always had a sort of like okay, well, how do we think about these things? And there was a hope that it would all converge. And I still have that hope. What I'm wondering is, now that we've talked about this, now that we have the experiences of the live show, if we reconstruct the show and its format, and we have when we talk about a season of whatever show it is, if it stays Nobody Asked, or if it becomes, the Good Mythical Morning to the Good Morning Shia Lincoln of Rhett and Link. If we see a season as constructing that tapestry of trying to really dig down into something in the format of a documentary and a think piece, but not in the format of, but in the sort of conventions of a documentary or a book or a think piece, painting a picture of a problem, but in the format of a live show conversation between a mother and a son. Or if we want to take live show elements out of it and insert more structure, right?
Yeah. So it's kind of a mixed bag, right? If you change it into not a live show, listen, live shows are easy. You just got to show up, right? They don't look as professional and put together and well done, but they're not. So if you want something that's got production value, it just takes that much more work and effort. And I don't have the skill, I just don't. I tried to acquire it, and I found it to be frustrating and overwhelming. And I think I just want to focus on the things that I think I actually can do.
Yeah.
If that sounds fair. I would like it to look a little bit better, in terms of, if we're talking about a topic, do we do a better job of putting visuals up? Maybe if we're talking about somebody, I don't know, how do newscasters have their little face in the corner, and have it make sense, not block out anybody's face? So how do we, you know what I mean? I don't know.
Well, yeah. Do we want it to be more like a live show, like a late night show, or do we want it to be more like a live stream? Do we want to keep the live show as it is, stay where we interact with an audience, but have it be more regimented, right? Have the first 30 minutes be, here's mom's first, here's the intro, here's the topic introduction, hard cut into into mom's segment talking about this event, right? And we have 10 to 15 minutes on that. Then we have a call-in asks questions and mom answers, right? Then we have a segue into 10 minutes of Colin's, here's like a method of thinking that Colin wants to talk about as related to the topic. We have 10 minutes of straight Colin talk, right? Here's all of my exhibits, click, 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 right? And maybe there's a PowerPoint. I'm just saying, maybe there's a PowerPoint. And Q&A, and then audience interaction, right? And so now we are reestablishing why it would be a live show rather than a podcast. Because right now it's a podcast that's live for some reason. And so can we incorporate being a live show and also make it in a way where it doesn't feel weird to listen in on in the future, right? Where it's still, I do want to tune in if you missed it.
I do like the idea of more structure. I very much want more structure. Not that I feel, like not having it has been terrible. I don't feel that way. I just feel like it's the next natural progression. I'm sure I will get better at PowerPoints if I do them more. I do understand how to make a slideshow and to drop it into this thing, into StreamYard. I do know how to do that. So I wouldn't feel as overwhelmed with that. I do want a real intro. Doesn't have to be long. We can keep it 15 seconds, 10 seconds, whatever. Just something to, I do want a good intro. I do hope that when you come here for Christmas, maybe we can actually really record something to make a song. I have microphones, but I don't have the software. I don't know what to do with any of it. So if you have that knowledge, that would be great. We could do that. But yeah, I do like the way that you have just suggested the structure, because then it feels like almost like you'd have a set time. Like, this is going to take this long. I'm more than likely to get through it. And yeah, I like the idea of actually having questions for the end if we want to.
Yeah.
Because I do find that you get distracted by the chat sometimes. You find it distracting when I throw a comment up. So.
Yep. I definitely find it distracting.
But it is the format, right? It is how this is designed.
Definitely. Speaking of, hi, Patricia with a C. Yeah, I think I agree with that. I think that if there's work to be done here, it's about reestablishing the purpose, having some sort of goal for a season that we've identified before episode 1. Now, I think that it sort of locks itself in pretty easily in 2024 because there's a presidential election.
That's true.
And even if we tried to have it be about something else, the presidential election will be all consuming, right?
Yes. And I don't think that's bad. I mean, I think people do want to be able to digest some of what's going on with that, and understand what's going on with some things that they might not have time to research on their own. So I think it gives us the opportunity to potentially research different candidates or research whatever the talking points are of the moment and go, why is this the talking point? Why is this the thing we're harping on? Because it feels stupid sometimes. Sometimes the thing that they make issue of feels dumb. And then you're like, well, is this even true? So I do think that there's something there and that it's interesting. So yeah, I like this. I like the idea that we're going to be going into election season. I don't know what we're going to call it, but.
The other thing that I think we should keep in mind without, that as we make these changes, I don't want to compromise what we already have, is remembering the reason that people do tune in to what we currently have. And I think that if I were to put words to it, it's that there's a number of people, we got our specific audience for reasons that are like the audience that you had outside of this show. Mm-hmm. But the reason that people would want to listen in on a conversation like ours is because I think that this show for some people is like a respite from family trauma. Like, this is what the conversation would be like if I had been in a family where no conversation was off limits. And, for some people, you're the mother that doesn't have a problem with whatever you say. That is still a mother figure, but also
you're going to make me feel stuff, Colin. Don't do that.
I love you very much, Mom.
But I don't think I've ever heard it articulated that way. That's interesting.
I think
that's what it is.
Here is that there's something really special about the way that you and I are able to speak and mutually respect each other and also be a mother and a son and, love each other at the end of every conversation. And I think everyone wants it. People that have it, I think it feels like a warm blanket in that it's like, oh, wow, this is what I have with my mom. And people that don't have it are like, this is what I wanted, And so no matter what, I think that we are a little bit like a warm blanket in that way. And then to be able to talk about political stuff, the stuff that's exactly the opposite of a warm blanket in that context, right? To be able to talk about that sort of stuff and be mutually understanding and occasionally disagree and still come at it with love is so different from anything else that is on the marketplace of political conversation, because political conversation is hyper elite intellectuals that feel like not a warm blanket, or it's people that are mad at each other or that are stoking the flames of your hatred, right? We are at the center of our show is the love between a mother and a son. And so we don't want to lose that in the picture of whatever we're creating.
I think that's interesting. How does that shape? I don't know how you would promote a show like this. How does that shape graphics? How does that shape? Do you know what I mean? Obviously, I make all of this nonsense on the screen, and I've been slacking. As soon as we kind of went to the news format, which I think we needed to do because we still needed to be putting out something for ourselves and for the routine of it all. But we're both very busy right now with other stuff.
Yep.
And so I kind of even stopped doing the artwork. I just let's just put the same one up every week. I don't have time.
We are burnt out to an extent here, right?
Yeah,
and
right.
So this is another upside of if we were able to create a calendar of, hey, here's 12 weeks of episodes. Here's a 2-week hiatus. Here's 6 weeks of episodes. Here's a 2-week hiatus. Here's the finale 6 episodes that are all leading up to the presidential election. Like, I'm sure I'm missing a ton of weeks in what I just suggested, but that are all leading up to the presidential election.
But I get what you're saying, right? You have a structure to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that actually I lost track of what we were talking about before you said.
Just so we were burnt out. Just that
yeah, because we've been going for a long time with no break, with just random breaks that were just necessary.
Unplanned breaks. Yeah.
Exactly. Unplanned breaks. So having stuff that's more planned, that gives people an understandable expectation, is good. We need to network better. I think I've been leery to do so, but I think we just got to take it for what it is. If we want more eyes in front of it, if we're not worried about it, and we're just hoping people will find us by magic, then.
Well, yeah, we probably want to invest in ourselves a little bit here. Mm-hmm. We might want to get somebody on Fiverr to put together TikTok reels for us or something. And
what's Fiverr?
Fiverr's here. Let me pull it up. But Fiverr is like a skilled workforce website. It's a freelance services marketplace. Here, let me show it to you. Share screen, Fiverr, share. So the idea is that you could pay $5 to get something, right? So if you wanted a song, there's going to be, here, music. Okay, yeah, I need an account to look at this. Give me a break. 1 second. 1 second. Sorry. I have this on my work account, but
yeah.
Oh my gosh, I'm going through the whole system now, aren't I? Oh my God.
No, it's okay. I just didn't know what it was, so that's cool.
Yeah, it's a freelance here. Now I've got it up. Freelance services. So like we could get somebody to make a website. I will produce professional soul and R&B music arrangement and production. And so you pay them $60 and you send them notes and how long you want, right? Mm-hmm. For each additional 10 seconds is $20, right? TikTok videos, TikTok video editing. I will do video editing for TikTok, YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels, or Story, right? And mm-hmm. you can hand them different pieces. We could hand them like a set of 10 minutes of the episode and be like, hey, we just want to put, we're a podcast. We're trying to get sort of podcast clicks on TikTok. And so we want to put together some videos here.
Would they go as far as to actually upload it to TikTok and put all of the stupid hashtags on? And
no? They can. It's just a different,
right.
Everything's a different service.
Right.
But that is something that we could do to invest in ourselves in that way. We can. So that's something that we can think about. We can think about networking. I always think about grants, but.
I'm open to grants if they help me pay for people on Fiverr to get to do the things that we need them to do. That's fun. I like the idea of it. Yeah, get somebody to edit stuff to do the whole thing. Give us a full, beautiful product at the end. Because at the end of the day, it's pretty difficult to be the person or the people who are doing the research, who are having the discussion, who are doing all that stuff, and then also editing, and then also doing, there's just so many layers to it that it becomes
run a company. Yeah.
Yeah. We both have other things that we have going on in our lives that I don't think we're willing to sacrifice. Right. So this has been a fun beta test. I feel like we've been beta testing for a while, but I've enjoyed it, but yeah. I also don't want to stop. I don't want to stop, but yeah, I don't know. I'd like to see more eyes on it, and we're not doing the things to make that happen right now. So I think I think we do need to think about it. So I do like these ideas. But yeah, I
Well,
don't know that. Huh?
sorry.
I don't know.
Oh, yeah. I think these are good conversations. So we can set there being, I think, if we're being honest here, we should,
Mhm.
when I'm home for Christmas, we should plan on going to a diner a couple times and trying to set out the vision, draw out on a literal piece of paper the vision for the next season.
Okay.
I think that we should maybe think about changing the name,
Right.
and we should,
Keep this channel. Just change the name of this channel, right?
yep.
Okay.
And I think that our name should more effectively communicate our value proposition, which is we're going to talk about really complicated issues, but whereas the reason you don't want to talk about them with your family is because it's a nightmare to talk about these issues with family, we're a cozy cup of hot chocolate and a blanket. In that, we're just a good mother and son. We're the best. We're the bomb. We're the next level, and we are not egomaniacs. So,
Although both of us could easily become egomaniacs if given the opportunity, I think.
absolutely, absolutely. Yeah. Wow. I mean, seriously, ever since I brought Fiverr up, everything has been lagging on my computer.
Oh, sorry.
No, I don't know. Yeah. So I think that we should find a diner and we should do some of that work. We can work on intro, but a new vision and a name that implies something mother son conversation.
Yeah. Although
Politics.
I think this was the right name for what we were originally doing. It's just we're doing something else now. I think it's evolved. It's really, yeah. Like when we were doing this on Instagram, we were really both bringing just the most random topics you could think of to the table, and I think it's
well, the goal was interesting conversation, right?
right. Yeah. And then I feel like the conversations just in the world suddenly felt so much more important. So it kind of evolved a little bit into something else.
Yep.
Yeah. Is there a desire to keep a news piece, but maybe just like a smaller, news minute, every day kind of a thing? Do you think that should be part of the show, or just something to think about?
I mean, I think that in the best case scenario, we're able to keep the overall vision of what we're building towards and then incorporate the news. But of course, with that upside comes the downside of we're not able to regiment ourselves in the same way. We need to be looking for that story. And on some weeks, there won't be a story. So do we need to put together like our 50% of the episodes, sort of bottled episodes that are not necessarily timely? And then when timely things happen, we're going to have 3 episodes in a row where, it's about erupting something protests and something.
Protests.
Dude,
Erupting volcanoes and protests.
Oh my God, there have been so many protests near my apartment lately, and it's driving
no
me
doubt.
crazy. Stop exercising your right to free speech, please. It's annoying me on my walk.
Stop trying to influence what we do and how we influence other countries, because for some reason, that's what we do. We poke everybody else and make them do stuff.
Yeah,
it's kind of interesting and weird, but
it is interesting and weird. But there's a project. There's a lot. There's a lot. What one thing that has been infuriating about these protests is like, okay, so 2 pro-Palestinian organizations have been suspended from campus at Columbia. Mm-hmm. That spawned protests. One, which was Jewish Conference for Peace, was one. So it's a Jewish group. And then another, which was like, I don't remember the specific name of it, but it has Palestine in the name. And the school says, look, there's a whole system for doing protests on campus, but they have regularly broken the rules, which are They're inciting people to come to campus that are not members of campus. They are not dissuading people with violent ideas from joining their protest. They're encouraging it. And in some cases, the people that have come to campus and even members of not the Jewish group, but the other group have made students uncomfortable trying to get around campus. In one case, one of the members of the non-Jewish group said "death to all Jews" in one of the protests. And you're like, okay, so here's the thing. Leftists have been for a decade saying, look, I'm not saying that you're totally obviously wrong, but one of us has Nazis at our protest. And now the leftists have Nazis at their protest. And it's like, whoa, uh-oh.
Yeah.
That argument's not feeling so good anymore.
Hey, Barbie.
Hi, Barbie.
Yeah. No, it's been strange and weird, and just how black and white people see it when, I mean, there's parts that are black and white and there's other parts that are not even remotely black and white. And to just throw all of it out the window is it's just like, you're crazy, man. You're crazy.
You're crazy.
You're crazy.
You're crazy, bro. Hey, Barbie and Patricia, I don't know if it's super clear, but this is not an episode. We're just gabbing. We're just gabbing about what the future of the show is, you know?
Yeah.
Is it possible that Nobody Asked is going up in flames, and from the ashes shall rise the phoenix of whatever new show we put together?
I'm a phoenix. I'm
Colin.
Yeah, I think that's what we're just talking about and thinking about what we want to do next season, and how we're going to revamp the show. Because I just prefer to think of this all as a great beta test and proof of concept that we can do this, and then deciding what the real concept is, because it's been various things at various times. And I'm not saying, I don't know. I do think I would like to just randomly incorporate projects here and there when they strike our fancy and when we can figure out how to do them. You know, there are times when I want to do a kid show, right? But I got to admit, the more that I think about a kid show, that sounds hard. That sounds way harder than what we're doing.
I don't want to do that at all. So
okay, so then that's good to know. You don't want to do a kid show.
No, not now. Maybe when I have kids.
Maybe when you have kids, sure. Yeah, it would be. But can we just go down the thought hole for a second of a kid show and what a kid show would look like from us?
We've talked about it a couple times.
We have talked about it a couple times, but I was thinking, like, because we talk about politics and stuff here, the idea of, like, you know, why is mom fighting with grandpa? Well, let's explain to you. Yep. Like, the idea of that just makes me laugh a little bit. Like, not that I necessarily think that we can do it effectively, but it is kind of a fun thought experiment to think of how to explain to children why politics gets people so riled up, and that you're allowed to still love your grandpa even though he's being terrible.
Wait, what did my grandpa do?
No, not your grandpa. I was just speaking in broad terms.
Oh,
no, you've got a bunch of liberal grandparents, actually. So.
Cucks, I say. Should we play GeoGuessr?
Yeah, we can play GeoGuessr. Is this the last episode of the season? This isn't a real episode, but it is the last one of the season. I think the goal in my mind is to come back in January, having sort of figured out what it is that we want to do, and do it. So it's with the holidays coming up. It's hard to focus on this when there's just so many other stressors going on. So the hope is to come back in January with a new product, experimenting with a new product, and hopefully delivering real episodes. We've been half-assing it for a little while, so. Which I'm okay with.
Dare you? How dare you?
I don't know. You don't think so? I've been half-assing it.
I don't know. Who's to say? I'm ordering.
Showing up counts. Huh?
I have to order food.
Oh, you're ordering food? I think I've talked Dad into going out for Mexican food after we're done here.
I'm ordering Mexican.
It's so good. Oh my gosh, we went to somewhere in D'Iberville for Mexican food earlier this week, and they had chilaquiles, which I love chilaquiles, but here they always do it with eggs, and they're like fried eggs that are like the yolks are hard, and I'm like, this is terrible. I don't like this. And I honestly would prefer them without eggs. I'd rather them have pork or something interesting in them. But this place that we went to, D'Iberville, they had it, and they used scrambled eggs that were just really lightly scrambled, so they weren't like they weren't dry, and they put carne asada in it as well. And I was like, this is so good. So I was happy.
There you go. Can't be mad at that.
Is the bunkie completed? So the bunkhouse is not completed, but it is. So Colin was here last week, and he stayed in the one room that I had relatively ready, and it seemed like it went pretty good. And I'm pretty far through the next room too. And so, yeah, it's getting easier. The more that I do it, the easier it's getting. So that's good. I'm happy about that. Are you leaving on a cliffhanger? Are you leaving this on a cliff? Is there a cliffhanger? What would the cliffhanger be?
Yeah.
Huh?
What was the cliffhanger?
I don't know. Oh, like an episode. This season's ending on a cliffhanger.
Yes.
Will I don't have a good cliffhanger.
I mean, I feel like the cliffhanger is, will it come back being this show?
Yeah.
Or will we completely change it in a way that doesn't appeal to our audience at all? We hate change, says audience.
I mean,
says us.
I feel like they'll come back. Because I don't think it's going to be completely different. I just think we're going to try to refine it a little bit.
But I think that when you refine it, they're going to be like, oh, you've lost the magic.
We'll never lose the magic. We'll never lose the magic, because according to you, we're just like a warm blanket.
Who dislikes a warm blanket, Mom?
I mean, I guess people that are really hot.
Okay, well, but that being really hot is not what a person is. It's like a state of being. It doesn't mean that person doesn't like warm blankets, you know? See, this is why we need to talk more about philosophy of thought.
Fine. See,
I mean,
Barbie says the magic is you two, and we're not going anywhere. So it's always going to be that.
Precisely.
And yeah, I think we're just going to try to tap into it a little more with a goal in mind, because for a long time it was just us floundering around. And yeah, I think we just need a more clear direction and I guess mission. Are we in like Africa? Where are we here?
I mean, my first impulse was Australia. We're in the southern hemisphere.
Okay. This is the road?
Yeah, I guess. There's a cow.
Okay. I mean,
it's a wild cow.
This could still be.
It's feeling much more African.
Ooh, there's a cute little hut town.
Do we think Botswana?
Well, I don't know.
Feels like Botswana to me.
That does look desertish.
It was Botswana.
Nice, Colin. Look at you just being, there's huts, it's Botswana.
It had a Botswana-iness, and let me tell you, this has a little bit of like a Winnipeg.
Oh, they had street signs, not street signs, but highway signs. Right there. Let's see, what kind of signage do we get here?
Oh my God!
Stop. Oh wait, is that? Oh, that's a tractor. Some sort of Animal Crossing. Wait, I want to look at that Animal Crossing sign. Oh, and a bike. Okay. And a bike. That seems weird.
This feels like it's north of North Dakota. Oh wait, is that an EU place? Oh, it looks
Barbie
like
says that she's from Manitoba. Does this look like Manitoba? Do you have signs like that?
Yeah, does this look like Manitoba?
Does it look like Manitoba?
No, these are all EU plates. Oh, HU is Hungary.
Sweet.
And this is Hungary. That's Hungary if ever I've seen Hungary.
And Barbie confirms that she has not seen a sign like that. in
Okay,
Canada.
well, here, let's see. We're facing south. So, road that runs south to southwest. So,
Are we heading out of Budapest or
oh, so close.
160 miles? That's not bad.
That's not bad. Can't be mad at it. Ooh,
Dirt.
they cut the earth.
Ooh,
They
but also
cut the earth for this
look
road.
at the cute curbing. Look at the curbing. It's all stones.
All
It's stony
stone.
cement.
Stony cement.
I don't
So
know.
it feels
France?
like this is in construction right now.
Maybe.
France, what an insane guess.
It feels like an insane guess, but also, I don't know, could be France.
Yeah, it certainly could be France. I have no idea.
We've got very little information right now. It does look like the planet Earth.
I do have does not make me feel like Western Europe, though.
Oh, wait, there's a building coming up. What do we got?
Oh, we got thatched roofs.
Okay. Belgium. The Netherlands. I mean,
This is bonkers. I'm going Lithuania.
okay. I've never been to Lithuania. I don't know.
I've got the magic in me. Every time I do.
I can't believe that the only building we saw was that. Okay, there's like a farm coming up, maybe.
Holy,
Oh,
you cannot read that at all.
oh, was that the
Yes.
front of the sign or the back of the sign? Oh,
Radushka velocidad.
what? You told me in 3 different. Reduce your velocity. Okay. Oh, what about shoot, I always forget the name of it.
Give me
Something
some
that
look.
ends with a mania, an ania.
Tasmania.
No, more like Romania or.
Oh, Romania. See
Somewhere
that?
in that
Now
direction.
we're cooking, Mom. Now we're cooking.
I mean, you said Lithuania. That also has an ania in it. Something with an ania in it.
This could be Croatia, Albania.
Albania. Oh,
Thatched
yeah.
roof, maybe North Macedonia. No, too
Why do
many
you
weird
think they would have a thatched roof? All I can look at is that curbing because that's the only thing that's been consistent and strange the whole time.
I'm going Slovenia,
Okay.
right near Idrija.
Somewhere we're running through the woods.
I was a little wrong.
Oh.
Bolivia.
Oh, it ends with an ia. An ia.
Well, then you were right. All right. I mean, immediately America.
That's an American mail truck for sure.
That's America.
Okay, do we see
the
mountains?
lawns, man.
Do we see mountains so
I see
far?
no mountains.
Let me do a 360 just to make sure. Okay, so we're not in Utah. Oh,
I mean, beautiful houses that are all right next to each other. Fairway Drive.
Oh,
It's
so we're
near
on
a golf course.
we're on a golf course. Okay.
Orchard Drive.
These are some pretty impressive houses, but again, we're on a golf course. Okay, ooh, what's this sign say?
Davis Station Road.
Okay. Cornfield. We're somewhere flat. Iowa, Nebraska,
Yeah,
Kansas.
It's got a very Nebraska, Missouri type of deal.
Ooh,
Missouri's less green than this, though.
Missouri's pretty green.
I still think it's less green. I contend it's less green, although I've mostly been to West Missouri.
Okay, there's a
Reserved
picture.
farmland.
Okay. What's it reserved from? Ooh, can we see those license plates at all or no?
I'm sure
No, they're
they're.
gone.
Yeah, they're gone. What a bunch of baloney. Oh, when horse rider is present, obey hand signals. Could we be in Pennsylvania?
We could be in Pennsylvania, but they didn't show a buggy on there, which I would feel like it'd be more buggy-ish than just free riding horses.
Do we think these trees look pencil? I guess there's not enough forest.
I think that we're on somebody's horse property. I think that sign was there because this is a horse property. This is a big old ranch. People with money. It's the stables. Ooh, perhaps we're in like New Jersey or something.
No, you're crazy.
Don't they have stables in New Jersey? In my mind, they do.
None of them look like this. New Jersey's too tightly packed.
You think so?
I do think so. I thought New Jersey's there's just too many people. Yeah, a lot of horses. What are these people saying?
Hey, Shayna, enjoy your holidays.
I've got the magic in me. Ooh, it could be Kentucky.
Could be Kentucky. Although I feel like there'd be some sort of hilly mountains, wouldn't there?
But it's fucking New Jersey.
I feel vindicated.
That is just terrible. Wow. All right, sorry.
New Jersey to me. Oh, this is not New Jersey. Mexico. Oh, it's very tropical.
How dare you say this is not New Jersey?
It looks quite tropical. Let's see.
This looks...
Oh, okay. Middle East somewhere. Or no, Thailand. I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like Thailand, Malaysia.
Ooh, Malaysia. Vietnam. I have no idea.
You got to look for, if it's Laos or Malaysia, then a bunch of the houses will have these little teeny tiny houses right next to them that are like shrines for families.
Oh. They occasionally had those in Belgium too, which was interesting.
Really?
Yeah, there'd be shrines out front.
Well, if we see one,
banana trees or
see
some banana trees.
See if you think they look similar.
Terracotta roofs.
Magic Mirror Beauty Salon.
Okay.
We're in the nice part of Myanmar.
I mean, maybe.
Thailand. I do feel like it's Thailand. Cambodia?
Oh, that's a good guess too. Malaysia.
I mean, the problem here is that it is so big. Like, the width of Indonesia is greater than the width of America.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
It's crazy.
I catch the TPO news.
It's fucking Sri Lanka!
What's TPO? TPO?
TPO?
Yeah, Barbie said, did I happen to catch the TPO news? But I don't know what TPO means.
I have no idea. I worry I'm about to get ligmud.
Uh-oh. Oh, are we playing against somebody?
No. Okay, that was fun.
We did terrible.
Yeah, that was one of our worst ones. But don't worry, because now we're going to duel somebody.
What's
or we
TPO?
can do country.
A temporary protective order? Oh, no, I did not. No, I did not, Barbie. I am completely out of the loop.
Uh-oh.
Oh. I'll have to go onto Instagram. I've been not on Instagram very much, so I'm not on top of anything. I shall message you later.
Ooh. Is this Jordan?
This looks scary.
Oh, they guessed immediately. I'm afraid. We have 11 seconds. Uh-oh.
11 seconds.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I don't know where we are, but it looks scary.
Mongolia. And they got it exactly. All right. That's some bullshit is what that
Perhaps they live in Mongolia. Yeah, how would you get that?
That was unbelievable. I mean, it was so fast that they got it. This is sort of gorgeous in a weird way. Wow, so hill. Is this Switzerland?
Oh, wait, what's down there? Oh, there's lots of hillsides as we look off into the distance. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. Who is this person?
They guessed already. Wow. They're cheating, bro. I'm going Switzerland.
Okay.
Oh.
Nice.
Well, I beat him, but also the fact that they also got Switzerland worries me. This feels like the Netherlands immediately.
Although we're in the thickets. Could be. Do we know? I don't know.
I still think it's the Netherlands.
It's a very narrow road. Definitely in Europe, it looks like. Belgium.
Could be Denmark. Belgium?
It looks like Belgium.
It does have the Belgium. But so many bikes. It's the Netherlands, bro.
I mean, Belgium and the Netherlands are very close together.
Yeah. We'll do the southern edge. We'll go to Rotterdam.
Does that mean we can't keep looking around?
I mean, we can, but we can't change our guess.
Sure. But there's signage coming up.
It was the Netherlands, and we both got it. This is really a war of attrition against this guy.
Oh, wait. Can we turn to the red? What is a... Jeez Louise, it's a shrine.
Feels very like Japan. Okay. Could it be China? Definitely. I do not know.
I can't read any of these signs.
Spell in a different language. I was closer by a lot. Suck it, loser.
He's stressing me out, though. I feel like we got to go so fast with him.
Well, I went first the last two, so
yeah,
I'm beating him at his own game now.
Poland.
Nope.
Oh.
Nope. This is
Russia.
Yeah, Western
Turkey.
Russia or East Ukraine. Not that the two could ever be confused. Yeah, I'm going Western Russia. St. Petersburg. It could be Ukraine. Oh, fuck, he got way closer. It was Bulgaria. All right, he wins. This guy sucks.
That was fun.
That was fun. Okay.
It stressed me out a little bit, but it was fun. I like the lazier approach. Let's look around.
Yeah, I like that one. I like that too, but you only get one daily challenge. Well, let's see if there's any other single player options. I've got 5 minutes till my food gets here.
There you go.
How about quick play? Oh, I'm not sharing my screen anymore, am
You're
I?
not sharing your screen. Nope.
Quick play.
Oh, we got 1 minute to. We've blurred a whole bunch of stuff out for some reason.
No parking, stopping, or standing.
Okay, America.
Definitely America. Definitely America. But what part? Oh,
There's a big
AT&T Stadium. Oh no, I should know what that is.
Why'd they give them all dumb names like that?
Oh, brother.
But hey, if we get close enough, we'll be able to see what team it is, and then we'll know.
Theoretically.
Stadium bar.
Pro shop. Oh, it's Dallas.
How did you get that? You just remembered where the AT&T studio was? Or
No, I see a little star.
where? Where do you see it?
Nice.
23 miles. Yep, you close. Ah, see, Shannon got it. She's like, Texas.
Yeah, just Sullivan for city council. It's America again.
It is America.
And it feels like the
The northeast,
like
yes.
New England, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Very easy.
I mean, it could be Connecticut.
Could be Connecticut. I feel like Boston, the houses are jammed a little closer together.
Yeah.
But it is Boston-ish.
I mean, yeah, all I've got is New England here. I feel like
Right? They need to give us something.
I feel like my impulse is definitely Connecticut, but that's probably because it's the most recent I've seen. Southern Connecticut. Ah, it was north of Boston. I've got the magic in me. Ooh. Okay.
España.
Maybe. But also could be other parts of Europe.
Oh, my food's almost here. This has got to be our last one.
Okay. Oh, we got some signage.
La Grole.
Okay. C'est bon.
C'est bon? Ah oui, oui. Et la France.
France. Si.
France.
Está bien.
S'il vous plaît.
Wait, or was it, did you click Luxembourg or was it in Luxembourg?
No, it was in France, and I clicked France.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, thank you guys for tuning in if you did. It wasn't a real episode. It was just us figuring stuff out. And we will be back in January.
January.
Bigger, better, bolder.
That's the tagline. Thanks, guys.